Hello and welcome back. You're tuned into Revision Hub with Jazzy Jane. I'm back with another video on beliefs in society, which is again an AQA sociology topic. So if you guys are all ready to begin, please press the thumbs up button and let's go. So, quick recap for those of you who are new to the channel or just want to recap what we did. Last video we looked at gender and ethnicity and how it's all interlinked with religion and religious beliefs and practices. So if you do not remember this, go back to my playlist and you'll be easily able to find this video. So, as I always mention, pause right now and write what you remember from my video. And obviously, this will only happen if you've actually practiced this particular formula. So, pause, have a go. Getting things wrong, not a problem. Go back to my video, look at it again, and learn it all, because this is the way to actually gaining success within AQA sociology. So, let's look at age today. As I mentioned, I was going to look at age. So, age. Over the last over 15, less likely to attend church. So over 15 children are less likely to attend church. Why do you think that is the case? Okay, so this is the case because after the age of 16, parents are allowed to leave the children at home without any supervision. So, over 15, they're less likely to attend church because then they're considered as adults. And as a result of them being considered as adults, they do not attend church as much as probably those individuals who are under 15. So, here we can see how age really differs the attendance level of church. Over 65s, however, seem to be more religious because they are close to death. However, many individuals are unable to attend church. This is because they may be sick or they may be disabled or have other issues which restrict them from attending church. So, this is an important concept to consider. Okay, so we must also understand that over 65s are sometimes more religious, even under 15 and over 15, they are more religious. But just because they don't attend church, it doesn't mean that they are not religious, because as we learn, there are various other forms, such as religious online and online religion, where people can practice religion. Wallis and Coquet are another sociologist which we have looked at, and Wallis and Coquet look at the aging effect and the generational effect. The aging effect is simply that the older we are, closer to death, we want to achieve salvation, we want to be good, we want to go to heaven. So these sorts of beliefs attract individuals to religion. The generational effect would be that the previous generation would be much more religious than the generation that we have today in the 21st century, maybe because of things that happened within our lifetime that enforce that we should be religious or not. So, Wallis and Coquet use the aging effect as well as the generational effect. Troelsch. Now, this is a whole new topic, so let's go. Troelsch is again another sociologist. Troelsch argues that their million of members believe in the religious monopoly of truth, and this is I was going to do this differently. Okay, let's do this again. So, Troelsch just says that some group has millions of members, some group believes in the religious monopoly of truth, which we can link to Weber. They are small, they need high amounts of commitment, like Martin Luther King or the Nazis. Have a guess. Are they sects or churches? So these are basically definitions. So one would be churches here and the other one would be sects. Pause and have a think of which one you think would be a sect and which one would be a church. Okay, so these are basically or practically just the definitions of what a church looks like and the conventions as well as a sect. So, if you guys have got this right, well done. For those of you who have not got this right, then don't worry, we're going through it right now. So, a church is a large institution who's got millions of members, believes in the religious monopoly of truth, as we need to link this to Weber. Weber and Troelsch used the definition of church early, lots of years ago, and it defined not only Christianity but also defined all types of world religions. So probably can be a criticism that maybe these are invalid today's world, because at that time they used all religions as opposed to one particular religion. Sects are very small, need high amount of commitment, and examples could be Martin Luther King or even the Nazi Party. So these are a few examples, and these are the key definitions of churches and sects. I encourage you to go through this again and again before we continue on. So next again is a denomination and a cult. Niebuhr is a sociologist, and Niebuhr argues that denominations are open to other people's interpretations. So they don't say, like churches, like sects, that, oh, our interpretation is our interpretation and our interpretation is the correct interpretation. They're very open and they are very strict, and they do not allow us to drink alcohol, and they're even strict than sects. And obviously, they're not linked to church as much as other groups are, and they do not believe in the religious monopoly of truth. So pause, have a think, have a go, and now just have a plain piece of paper, write down what you have learned so far, what the definitions of a denomination is, a church is, and a sect is. So if you've had a go and you've not got it spot on, then just revise these few key terms because they're important, as well as revise the term cult. So Niebuhr, again, is a sociologist, and he looks at cults. Cults are open to people's interpretations, similar to denominations. They're world affirming, so they want to improve the world and the way it works. It's very small, and they share quite similar beliefs. And it's important here that we are looking at world affirming as a key word, which I'll be looking at in my previous and next few videos that I'm coming up with. So learn these key definitions before we begin. So just remember, these are just simply groups, like different, think of it as different religions technically, but they're not really different religions, but they're just different groups that define it differently. Okay, so Wallis again is a sociologist. Then we're going to do guess who. Respected, not respected. Their interpretations is the right one, their interpretations is not the right one. From what information I've given you, which you have learnt hopefully by pausing the video. So what do you think, what is what? Which ones are churches, which ones are sects, which ones are denominations, which ones are cults? Have a go. Okay, so let's go back. So, respected people are probably the churches as well as the sects. Not respected, however, are the denominations as well as the cults. Their interpretations is not the right one. The interpretation is the right one. So, the interpretation is not the right one, and they're open to other interpretations would be what? Simply denominations as well as cults, whilst those who think their interpretation is the right one would be church and sects. So you should get this right. Just think of it as like a little match-up activity type of thing. Weber, a sociologist, argued that respected again sects and cults, and today the church no longer believes in the religious monopoly of truth because. Okay, so Weber is technically criticizing all of the sects and cults definition. Weber finds that, you know what, today sects and cults are much respected. So that criticizes what Wallis argues. And also today churches no longer believe in the religious monopoly of truth, because if they actually did, then would all those religious beliefs still be there? And before, in order to show the religious monopoly of truth, churches competed with the denominations, and now churches no longer compete with denominations. So here we see Weber as a criticism to Wallis and argues that, you know what, sects and cults are very respected, and today the church no longer believes in the monopoly of truth because they do not no longer compete with denominations. So what we've learned, hopefully we've learned about sects, cults, age as a whole, and I'm going to continue with this topic of sects and cults and denominations and all of these things. They're very complex things, so I expect all of you to actually just keep revising, resting, testing, and repeating yourself, because if you get the keywords right, get the keywords into your head, revise them, then I promise you that all this next few topics, which are very difficult, will be much, much easier. And again, I'm on Instagram, so please follow me there. You can scan, if not, type my thing on revisionhub_jazzyj on the search bar. And do not forget to love Canva, like, subscribe. If you're happy with the content, please put the smiley on the page somewhere, and please take a second to subscribe. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed. If you've not subscribed, or if you don't understand a particular issue or concept, please comment it in the comment section. I'll be willing to actually help you in any way I can. And please press the bell icon to never miss my video. Thank you so much for tuning in into Revision Hub with